The City Council votes to table the MBTA Communities Act discussion until February. Eversource's geothermal energy project in the city gets a boost from the federal government, and a look at the history of Shoppers World and how the local commerce and entertainment complex was a regional gathering spot during the holiday season. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick, and this is The Frame, Framingham News in Focus. Hello and welcome to The Frame, an initiative of Access Framingham. We start with a review of Tuesday night's City Council meeting as the topic of the MBTA Communities Act has been tabled to February. Local leaders have been debating this topic for months. Mayor Charlie Sositsky and his administration have warned that by the end of 2024, Framingham could fall out of line with the state law, which requires that municipalities with MBTA service have to have at least one by right multifamily housing district in its zoning. Back in November, the City Council submitted 8 total districts for consideration. Legislators were open to approve, reject, or amend proposed zones in the downtown area, Saxonville, Knobscot, at Shoppers World, at 990, along Speen Street, and at the Buckley apartment complex on the corner of Mount Waite Ave and Franklin Street. Prior to a joint discussion on Tuesday at the Memorial Building between the City Council and Planning Board, Sositsky lamented the fallout of this zoning topic locally.
For the past several months, we have witnessed vitriolic attacks on myself, members of my administration, members of the Planning Board, and the City Council, along with some of their family members. These behaviors have been tearing apart the fabric of the city, creating a divide that we haven't seen in many years.
As for the City Council itself, they voted to table the MBTA law matter to their meeting on February 4th by a 6-4 to 1 vote. District 4 Councilor Michael Cannon said that since the December 31st deadline is not codified in the state guidelines for the law, and considering that the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court's decision in the case between the state and the town of Milton on this MBTA Act has yet to be made, Framingham should take more time in the new year to explore its options before enacting new permanent zoning.
Until we know if the state is going to make us do this and make other communities do this, and I don't think anybody knows, it is unwise for us to start making lifelong decisions, because once we adopt the zoning, people are going to take advantage of it, and the cat's out of the bag.
Leading up to February, Sositsky's administration was asked by the City Council to provide additional details on the potential parcels that could satisfy the state law. Tuesday's meeting was adjourned before the public hearing portion of the topic was resumed. As this topic extends into 2025, we'll be sure to provide any and all updates on our weekly program, as well as our website, www.theframe.news. There you can find additional details on the stories that we cover on the show, from municipal developments to interesting pieces on local people, groups, and events. It's all there. Subscribe to our email newsletter to ensure that you stay up to date with our coverage. Follow us on social media too. Our home on Instagram and on X is at @FrameNews_. Subscribe to Access Framingham's channel on YouTube and hit the bell icon there to be notified whenever we upload a new episode of The Frame. Search for The Frame on Facebook as well. Meanwhile, a nearly $8 million grant from the federal government will aid in the expansion of Eversource's geothermal energy project here in the city. The system, which is located by Framingham Public Schools' administrative complex, launched this past summer as the first of its kind in the United States. Liquids, pumps, pipes, and wells leverage the consistent temperature beneath the surface of the earth to extract heat from underground and into buildings during the winter, while bringing heat from out of buildings and below the surface in the summer. Proponents of the alternative energy method say it can save consumers money on their utility bills while also being more eco-friendly. Just over 30 homes and 5 commercial buildings are currently serviced by this pilot program from Eversource, but the system is set to be expanded with the help from a $7.8 million grant from the U.S. Department of Energy to the Boston-based nonprofit organization Home Energy Efficiency Team, or HEAT for short. A celebration commemorating the 45th anniversary of the Framingham Public Library's main branch was held on Tuesday evening, December 17th. Local officials, community leaders, and residents joined the directors of the library from yesterday and today at the location along Lexington Street, which opened on that date back in 1979. The event featured music, historical displays of the building over the years, and remarks from those who have seen the main branch grow into what it is now, and how that history can help the library continue to thrive in the future.
This library has made nothing but progress in the last 45 years. And that's because of this community. And to have all of these people in this room tonight celebrating the fact that our library is still standing and still going so strong and has so many plans to become even better over the next 45 years when we shall meet again is just such an incredible honor.
Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa all begin in just a few days. So before celebrations kick off, a few items to note as you plan out the week ahead. Wednesday, Christmas Day, which is also the start of Hanukkah this year, is a federal and state holiday, of course, meaning that all municipal offices, post offices, and libraries in Framingham will be closed. Trash and recycling pickups will be delayed by a day, while the recycling drop-off center will also be closed on Tuesday in observance of Christmas Eve. Expect similar closures and schedule changes the following week for the new year. A shout out now to a wrestler at Framingham High School who just hit a major milestone. Senior Daniel Sullivan notched win number 100 last Thursday during the first dual meet of the year for the Flyers against Weymouth. We'd like to congratulate Daniel on reaching the century mark, and we wish the Flyers good luck in the new season. And finally, a sneak peek of this week's Frame by Frame segment. By now, you may or may not have started your holiday shopping. One of the major places to visit in the city during this time of year is Shoppers World. For this holiday season, though, we wanted to take a step back to learn more about the innovative shopping center's history and what it was like to shop, visit, and gather at Shoppers World back in the day. We were lucky enough to collaborate with the Framingham History Center to provide research and footage of Shoppers World in years past to you this week. We spoke with Executive Director of the History Center, Anna Tucker, to learn more about the unique offerings Shoppers World had during the holidays.
I think one of the things that we can take away from the lesson of Shoppers World is how important this sense of gathering, this sense of sort of ritual around the holidays is to creating a sense of community. Because when people talk about going to Shoppers World, it wasn't in isolation. They talked about seeing each other from the community, going there as a family, going there and seeing friends and neighbors. And it definitely had a sense of a coming together for a special purpose. And I think that's something that we can still do today in different ways, but Shoppers World is a good reminder about taking time out of our busy schedules and gathering together and doing something just a little bit different from our day-to-day.
That full Shoppers World segment can be found on our website, theframe.news, as well as Access Framingham's YouTube channel. This is the first in a series of frame-by-frame collaborations we'll be doing with the Framingham History Center. We'll be looking to highlight local historic stories as the city celebrates its 325th anniversary in 2025. For more local history information anytime, head to framinghamhistory.org. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. On behalf of the entire team here at The Frame, thanks for tuning in and happy holidays. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.